Hello everyone, my name is Dippy. In my last video, I explained why raids were the only fun part of Destiny. My explanation was that they are the only activity in Destiny that has some form of difficulty. However, the reason raids are difficult is because they do not explain how to finish the encounters. Therefore, I will now bestow upon you the great knowledge you will need to complete the Leviathan raid. Shall we begin with some background information on the raid? It is honestly pretty simple. There is this big, fat, turtle named Callus. He was the emperor of the Cabal until they overthrew him from power. How rude. The Cabal then put him on a giant ship, called the Titanic, I meant the Leviathan. Now, for some reason, we have to kill Callus. So we arrive on his ship, and in order to face the fat turtle, we need to complete his stupid encounters. Now you know the complex backstory of the turtle on the Titanic. I can finally explain the damn raid. As we arrive on the Leviathan, we are first encountered with the Castellum. This is the only encounter in the whole raid that is pretty self-explanatory. In short, you need to complete the Castellum in order to open the door for the next encounter. You will see a symbol on the ground. You then need to go to the area that has that same symbol. Kill a boss, grab a lollipop, then return to the door you came from. Do that 3 times, while defending your plate from enemies, and the door will open for the encounter. Honestly, if you can't do this encounter, leave the raid. You are bad. But, if you do make it through, you will end up at one of 3 encounters, as the order changes every week. The encounters will be the same, but the order that you have to do them will be different. This week, the first encounter was the Pleasure Gardens. Don't let the name fool you, this encounter is as pleasurable as getting a splinter in your eyeball. This is the Pleasure Gardens, or as most refer to it as, dogs, for pretty obvious reasons. This encounter has 3 basic roles: Crystal, Leader, and Follower. Essentially, the crystals call out where the spores are, on their specific side. The Leader then leads the followers to the spore, to get the buff. The buff adds more damage against the dogs. Your raid team will most likely put you at Follower, as they cannot trust you to do the simplest of things, which is why you are watching my video. The Leader must watch out for the many dogs roaming the map, as if they spot you, you drop the spores, for some reason. When you are spotted by a 20 vision dog, you must run to the specific dog that you were assigned, to then kill it. Once every player kills their dogs, the encounter is over. Easy enough, right? Well, on to the encounter that will make you want to simultaneously drive your head through a cement wall, and jump out of a window. Gauntlet. Why is this encounter so frustrating, you might ask? Well, it's because this encounter is so simple, yet so complicated at the same time. The fundamental elements to this encounter are as follows. 2 runners have to go into a gauntlet, and run through 4 walls. Each wall they come up against will be blocked, but one hole will be red. The runners then need to call out to the shooters, who are outside of the gauntlet, which hole is red. The shooters then shoot the 2 opposite arrows, and the wall opens. The runners then run the gauntlet 3 times, and the encounter is over. While this might seem simple now, I can guarantee you it will not be simple when you actually attempt it. Well, I have a few tips to help you out in this encounter. Here is Wookie. Now, you would think there is no way he is getting his big Titan ass airborne. Well, this might be you as well. To help with this, picture you are an ice cream truck. And behind you, there is an 800-pound, 4-year-old kid, looking for his midday snack. That might help you to get your slow ass in the air. Now that you have the necessary skills to complete the gauntlet, let's move on to the easiest encounter of the whole raid. The Royal Pools. This encounter is fairly straightforward. There are 4 corners of the room, and at each corner there is a plate with a chain. All 4 of the chains need to make it down to the floor. If a player stands on a plate, the chain goes down. But if they get off, the chain slowly rises up. So, a player needs to be standing on a plate at all times. Every once in a while, a bather will come out of the hole in front of the plate. These are fairly easy to kill, but they deal a lot of damage if they hit you. But honestly, if you die to a bather, be prepared for your parents to disown you out of shame. There is one slight issue with this encounter though, as when you stand on the plate, you slowly lose your buff. This buff protects you from the damage that the water will give you. So every once in a while, you will need to grab a new orb at the middle plate, and swap with another person who is standing on a plate. This prevents the water from killing everybody. Once all of the chains are down, you run to the middle and destroy 3 sets of crystals. When the crystals are dead, you get your pirate booty. Most runs, you will finish this encounter on your first try. My brain is mostly on autopilot during this whole encounter. We have now finished all of the Fat Turtle's encounters, and now we can face the big kahuna himself. Let's move on to Callus. As I said before, this Gordo Tortuga was the Emperor of the Cabal. So his encounter is the hardest in the raid. Essentially, 3 people are going to go in a void dimension, and call out what they see on Callus's head in the void. While 3 people are going to be in the throne room, punching the sign that the void team does not call. Every time the throne room punches the correct sign, a barrier appears in the void, preventing them from falling to their death. As dying is not a recommended tactic for completing a raid, you want to make sure to do this correctly. After the void team moves past 4 barricades, skulls appear in the void. The more skulls that they kill, the higher damage you will do to Callus, when the time comes. Once the team returns to the throne room out of the void, damage phase can begin. When you jump on a plate, you can damage Callus, however you need to jump to the next one before he tries to kill you. And once you kill Callus, the raid is over. You are welcome. I just bestowed upon to you, the knowledge of the greats. Now go forth, young one, and complete this raid. Bring honor back to your family. I would like to give a very special thank you to the fire team that completed this raid with me, and putting up with me getting footage. And also a very special thanks to you, watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.